Welcome to Thinking Unchained, the podcast that unchains your thinking. This is the space where ideas stretch, breathe, and break free from the ordinary. I am your host, Byron Batts. If you would like to read today's essay or download a PDF version, you will find it at my website, thinkingunchained.com. I am grateful you have decided to join me. The title of today's essay is Yessir. Yes, sir. It is the only response Yessir has been conditioned to answer. Cut costs. Yes, sir. Cut personnel. Yes, sir. Increase revenue. Yes, sir. Do this, then do that. Yes, sir. Yessir never questions. When a doubt steers, small as a spark beneath ash, Yessir smothers it before it can glow. To question is to risk disfavor, and disfavor is a danger Yessir has been trained to fear, told to avoid. The yes, sir posture, unquestioning compliance, may be traced to two intertwined forces: fear and conditioning. Fear is immediate, visceral, the dread of punishment by demotion, exclusion from opportunities, or loss of livelihood. It is the shadow that keeps individuals silent in the face of authority. Conditioning, by contrast, is slower, subtler, the sediment of repeated reinforcement through rewards and praises. But this conditioning can also be a product of cultural norms and institutional training that teaches obedience as virtue. Fear explains the urgency of compliance. Conditioning explains its persistence. Fear may compel someone to say yes in the moment, but conditioning ensures they forget how to say no at all. Together, they form a cycle. Fear initiates obedience, conditioning normalizes it, and the absence of resistance becomes self perpetuating. Thus, Yessir is not simply weak willed, he is shaped by structures that reward compliance and punish dissent. Fear is the spark, conditioning is the mold. To resist requires both courage and consciousness, an awakening to the forces that have sculpted a person's reflexes. CEOs and executives adore Yessir. Yessir gets the job done, they say with satisfied nods. Yessir boosts the numbers, they proclaim as if reciting a creed. But inside, Yessir feels hollowed out. The knowledge accumulated over years lies unused, like tools locked in a shed. The wisdom earned through experience gathers dust. The voice within, once vibrant, once curious, grows faint. For a life lived in perpetual obedience may appear fulfilling from the outside, yet from within it becomes a slow forgetting. Forgetting the inner voice, judgment, worth, and eventually the self. Yet the tragedy of Yessir does not end with him. For Yessir does not merely diminish himself, he diminishes the world around him. A silenced mind is not a private loss, it is a public one. Every insight Yessir hides, every question swallowed, every warning unspoken, and every new idea imprisoned becomes a small fracture in the foundation of the community. Yessir has so much to offer: years of experience, hard won understanding, a perspective shaped by failures and triumphs alike, wisdom. But Yessir has been trained gently at first, then relentlessly, to sheath intelligence in deference, to bow before authority even when authority stumbles in the dark. And so the leaders who lack vision continue unchallenged. The executives who lack wisdom continue uncorrected. The decision makers who lack understanding continue unquestioned. Those in power without vision continue undisputed, not because they are right, but because Yessir has been conditioned to believe that obedience is safer than truth. Steve Jobs once remarked, "It doesn't make sense to hire smart people and then tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do." But in a world full of Yessirs, this wisdom goes unheard. The smart people stay silent, the leaders go blind, and the society that could have been thriving and more just, more creative, and more alive never fully arrives. For when a culture rewards obedience over insight, it does not merely waste talent, it builds its future on muted voices and wonders later why the structure collapses. Yessir contributes to the collapse, however, not through malice, nor through incompetence, but through the quiet abdication of responsibility. For Yessir could have prevented, or at least could have helped in preventing the collapse, the demise. A single question at the right moment, a single refusal spoken with steady breath, might have shifted the course of events. But courage was never cultivated in Yessir, only compliance. And so Yessir chooses the easy path, the familiar path, the accepted path. The path paved by countless others who fear the discomfort of dissent more than the consequences of obedience. It is a path that feels safe, yet leads inevitably toward ruin. For when no one dares to say, "This is wrong," the ground grows roots. When no one challenges the flawed command, the command becomes the culture. And the culture is built on silence. Collapse is not an accident, it is the natural end. Thus, Yessir becomes both victim and accomplice, wounded by the system that shaped them, yet sustaining that very system through his silence. The intelligent CEOs, the smart executives, the wise leaders, they are nothing like the ones who praise Yessir. They do not fear challenge, they invite it. They do not cling to their own ideas, they test them against sharper minds. They do not surround themselves with echoes, they seek out dissonance, knowing that harmony without tension is merely silence in disguise. Such leaders understand a simple truth. A team of obedient followers may move quickly, but only a team of thinking individuals can move wisely. So they cultivate spaces where disagreement is not rebellion but contribution, where a raised hand is not a threat but a gift, where experience, skill, and knowledge are not ornamental but essential. In a society that so often suffocates voices, these leaders become rare pockets of breathable air. They allow others to thrive, not by granting permission, but by refusing to punish courage. And in doing so, they reveal what Yessir never learned, that progress is born not from compliance, but from the friction of honest minds meeting in the open. My plea to Yessir: seek courage, not the loud kind that shouts, but the quiet kind that refuses to disappear, the courage to question, the courage to think, the courage to remember that obedience is not virtue when it costs the world your insight. And my plea to those in power: welcome resistance. Do not fear the raised hand, the dissenting voice, the inconvenient truth. For it is through resistance that ideas are refined, through challenge that wisdom is sharpened, through honest friction that better futures are forged. A palm tree grows its strongest roots not in the gentle of breezes, but in the fiercest hurricanes. So too do people, and so too do societies. Strength is not born from stillness, it is born from the winds that dare to push back. Thank you.